Hey, what's up? Kevlin here, and I've got Petunia with me today, and we're going to talk about conventions. Well, I guess I am. Petunia can't really talk. Now, what are conventions? I mean, I could answer that in a video all on its own. That's kind of a different can of worms. I'm going to share with you with some of my own experiences at conventions. While there isn't going to be like a specific order to these, I will start out with my first one that my smooth brain can remember. I remember my first convention wasn't actually like a video game or anime convention, it was a reptile expo. My dad took me when I was little, like elementary age, and we went to go look at all the animals. I don't remember how big it was back then. It could have been half the size of the convention center, but it was packed with all sorts of reptiles and amphibians and stuff to care for them. There was even a petting zoo that I really, really wanted to do. They had a rosy boa, so I mean, how could you not want to? They look so soft. But I was too nervous to ask. Like, why? I don't know. What was the worst thing my dad could have said? No. Anyways, as we walked up and down all the rows, my dad asked, "So, do you want a pet snake?" And I was very surprised by this. But I was like, yeah. Okay, pause. Now, under most circumstances, when getting any pet, you should do your research for what kind you want and how you want to take care of it, from what food and water and stuff like that, to where it will stay in your house, to what toys and enrichment it might need. Where are you going to take it for checkups or if it gets sick or injured? Who will take care of it if you go out of town? Now, looking back onto this with this information, I realized that I was very I wouldn't say misinformed, but all I had at my disposal was some library books from school and a hope and a dream. What is good about looking at pets at shows or conventions, you can usually ask the breeder about the animal. You can ask it how old it is, what does it eat, what is its temperament like. Okay, this is a tangent that's gone on long enough, but I will let you know I did get my first snake named Oreo. I miss Oreo. Okay, the next story is from about years ago. I actually don't know when, but I know it was like my second year of college or something. You can tell I did not major in math. My friend asked if I wanted to go to a convention, and I was like, yeah. So literally the night before, I just pulled out my Robin cosplay because I had never worn it and was all like, well, time to give this a try. So in the morning, I got up early to get ready, and by early, I mean like 8 a.m.-ish. I'm not a morning person. My brain doesn't usually function until around 11. Until then, it feels like I'm running on pudding. This was proven when I fell asleep on the way to the thing. When I woke up, we had just pulled into a parking garage somewhere in Los Angeles, I think. Not really sure. I don't know where we were, but my friend led the way and I followed them and their own two friends. Now, this wasn't like any convention I had been to before. It was like 3 or 4 blocks of like Japanese stores, anime shops, and collectibles and stuff like that. While we waited for some more of my friends, great writing there. While we waited for more people, I saw more Fire Emblem cosplayers, and I was ecstatic. This was before Fire Emblem had become less obscure, so I wasn't expecting to see any Fire Emblem cosplayers, but there was 2. They were dressed as the Heroes Dancers alts of Inigo and Shigeru, and their costumes were amazing. We took a few pictures. I tried to find them, but I couldn't find them. They'll probably show up after I post this video. It turns out, though, they weren't the only Fire Emblem fans I'd met that day. One of my friend's friends also was a fan, but they weren't wearing a costume. I guess they were cosplaying as a background character. But they pulled out this little Marth. I actually have one. 1 second. They had one of these. They just pulled it out of their backpack, and it was amazing. And yes, I did swap Link and Marth's head. We wandered around for a bit after that. I mean, I mostly followed the others since I didn't really know what we were doing exactly. I didn't know if there was like panels or contests or shows or anything, so just kind of hung out, followed around. We ended up in this cute little knick-knack shop where they were selling tiny swords, like little pencil-sized ones. They were adorable, but I was broke, so no go on that. We did stop for dinner at this fun little Japanese place, and still being broke, I ended up getting like miso soup and edamame or something. That's also when someone else recognized my costume and shouted, "Yo, Morgan!" Or Robin. Are you Morgan or Robin? And that was honestly funny because imagine seeing this mastermind tactician or like their kid and they're just trying to figure out how to use chopsticks. I still don't know how to use chopsticks. But I still look back on this trip fondly. It was short, it was fun, and I hope my friend is doing well. I haven't seen them in a hot minute. Okay, I actually have a better idea of when this one took place. This one happened probably right around the time Fire Emblem Three Houses launched, and my friend Daki and I actually dressed up as Cloud and Dimitri for this one. We tried to prepare the best we could, but, well, I mean, I guess it didn't go horrendously, since that's how we would continue to do conventions from then on. But we looked up things to do, like if there's any competitions or panels or shows, and we actually found one for Fire Emblem, but the site didn't give us any details except that it would be there. Oh, that's really helpful website. Where will it be? Is it going to be on the main stage? Is it going to be on the roof in a secret pocket dimension? Anyways, we got there and headed in, and everything was there that we were used to, like the artist alley and the main stage and all the crazy anime cars, the usual shenanigans. We walked around to see if there was anything that caught our eye, and something did. A lovely blue shirt, and I was like, oh, I have that shirt, but in red. Wait, that's Dimitri's voice actor, Chris Hackney. He was doing autographs or some kind of signing for something, and I really wish I had brought that promotional poster to get signed. There were some of the Golden Deer there, like some cosplayers, and they were waiting in line too, so we just, talked about something. I think we were, debating if tofu was, a liquid or a solid or something dumb like that. I honestly don't remember. But we just kept standing there and waiting, and it turns out he was leaving. Well, crap. So he went on his way, and Daki and I kept wandering around because we didn't want to be those people. And we ended up outside, and Daki said, I'm hungry. And I asked him, can you even read any of the menus here? I think they're in a different language. And he responded with, look, there's Dimitri's voice actor. That's real specific in a crowd of 1,000 people. You know I can't see over most people's heads, right? I'm barely 5 feet. We ended up following him. I promise we're not stalkers. And we followed him to the video game room, which that is where the elusive Fire Emblem panel was being held. Excellent. We were a bit late to find anywhere to sit, so we kind of just orbited around until we found a spot. We're short and shorter. Neither of us are that tall. But we finally found a place where we could see, and a lot of the voice actors were there, and they started the panel with the opening and the, do you have any questions for us? This one guy raised his hand, and he shouted, what's your favorite color? And dang. Someone had taken my question. So I had to come up with another, and I was going to ask something really dumb and out of left field, is a hot dog a sandwich, or how many holes does a straw have, and does pineapple belong on pizza? But I was too short, so they didn't see me, and it's bad. I hate being short. I hate it so much. But I loved the panel. It was amazing, and it was a lot of fun. At that point, though, I'm sure we could have enough people to recreate the entire cast of Three Houses. We did get a picture of someone dressed as Edelgard to complete the trio. I'd love to do something like this again, and I'm hoping for the 5-year reunion that I think is coming up, that they'll have some kind of class reunion, and I'll be able to bring that poster, hopefully, if I remember. But yes, it's so much fun. So many creative artists and talented voice actors. I hope more panels show up like this. I'd totally go. Oh, this one was more recent. I mean, depending on when this video comes out. Daki and I went to another convention. I wore my Academy uniform because I wasn't going to be wearing a full Dimitri cosplay in 97 degree Fahrenheit, California summer. We pulled up to the convention center, but there was no center. It was just outside, and that would have been fine if it still wasn't 97 degrees. We got inside and tried to locate the main stage because there was going to be a Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes panel later, and we didn't find it, and we didn't find a map or a directory or those little bucket hats with the fans on them. A lot of people seem to be wearing those to keep cool. I have a very low heat tolerance, but I was going to be okay till we got inside one of the few buildings, where Artist Alley was set up. You know those stories and memes of cosplayers needing deodorant? Well, I never really experienced firsthand until then. Great StarClan. I get that each convention has a different location, but why pick one that doesn't have air conditioning in California? Those poor artists, they had to sit there through it. I actually asked one of them if it had been like this all 3 days, and they were all like, yeah, the AC on the first day was here, and then it left, and it hasn't come back since. I am so sorry. I am just melting again just thinking about it. Outside, there were some clouds forming, so I was hoping we'd get a cool breeze or something. But no! Instead, we got a humid rain, and it felt like Florida. I've never been to Florida, but my cousin, who I think lived there a while, said it was hot and humid. But I had to endure it for the Warriors panel. In order to make it to said panel, though, I needed some water. I looked around for anyone selling water, but I couldn't find any. Okay, a drinking fountain would do just fine. I'm not picky, but no. Who needs a water fountain when you have boba? I can't pour boba on my head in costume. Like, I can, but I can also guarantee you that'd be a pain to clean. I ended up getting a Pepsi. Was it worth the wait? Yeah. We actually found the panel. We followed a flock of Fire Emblem cosplayers, and we just kind of guessed this is where the panel started. Chris Hackney was there again, as well as some other familiar faces, and some new ones, like the voice actor for male Shez. I didn't get to ask any weird questions, but I thought of one after. Is ketchup a smoothie? If people consider it a fruit, and a smoothie is a blended fruit, like, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below if you think ketchup can be considered a smoothie. And also let me know if y'all have any of your own convention stories. I'd love to hear them. Anyways, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a lot of fun making this video. So if you guys like the story kind of stuff, I'm totally down to do another one. On a side note, I am doing a playthrough of Edelgard's Route in Three Hopes, so if you want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. I'm trying to post the videos at least once a week. And yeah, thank you guys for making it this far into the video. And remember, every time you lick a stamp, you gain 1/10 of a calorie.